We are also live on DSTV channel 279, streaming across the world on Facebook at TV3 Ghana, where you can join us with your thoughts and comments. My name is Godwin Asidiba.
I am Grace Hamu-Ajuman. Coming up this afternoon, National Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, John Asiedun Ketia, instructs NDC members of Parliament to boycott any emergency recall.
Also, environmental protection agency managed the biosphere reserve. You have details on that shortly as well.
Later in the bulletin, we tell you why the coalition of Hygiene students and the unposted Hygiene graduates are protesting government delay in posting members. We have details of these stories and more in the next 60 minutes. Stay with us. Don't forget, we're live on DSTV channel 279 and across all our various social media platforms at TV3 Ghana.
Officially welcome to the program. We begin the bulletin from here. The Environmental Protection Agency and UNESCO, under its Man and the Biosphere Program, MAB, have put together a document to help the 22 communities surrounding Lake Bosomtwe, the largest natural lake in West Africa, sustainably manage the Biosphere Reserve. My colleague Ibrahim Abubakar has been monitoring the 4th National Forum on Biosphere Reserves and Sustainable Development, where stakeholders have been sharing findings of research on the lake and measures to protect it. He joins me live for some details on the back of that. Thank you so much for your time. Can you tell us what the current state of the lake is like?
Well, Gordon, currently when you go to Lake Bosomtwe, you realize that the lake is reducing in size. In fact, per the research, we've been told that when you look at the depth, it has reduced from 800 to less than 100 meters. And in terms of the surface, it has reduced from 52 kilometers to around 40 kilometers. And you observe that human activities is on the rise there because, you know, the 22 communities surrounding the lake use it as their source of livelihood for fishing and other things. But because now the fish stock is also depleting fastly, and even we've lost most of the species there, you would observe that it has forced some residents to go into crop farming. And with the crop farming, they also end up destroying the vegetative cover of the lake and also destroy some of the trees there. So gradually, the lake is shrinking and the quality of water there, according to the researchers, has also been compromised. So that is how come this discussion is ongoing, so that they will engage communities within the lake area to help, and they will also direct them how they can protect the lake. Because if they watch on for this lake to shrink, it will not only affect the country, but they as residents who are also sourcing their livelihood in and around the lake. Dr. Jackson Adia is the Ashanti Regional EPA Director.
One of the major findings was that the quality of the reserve is being degraded because of anthropogenic activities. And this is, to me, it's not the best because it's something that is sustaining us. So if you allow it to degrade, then it means that human health are also degrading. So those activities like illegal lumbering, activities that are going on there, then bad farming practices, and then illegal mining, and then bad fishing methods, all those things people should refrain from those kind of acts because they will deplete the quality of the reserve.
Ibrahim Abubakar, is quite disappointing to know that this is happening because Galamsey is already destroying our water bodies, and getting to know that this in Bosomtwe is also, you know, going through some challenges. It's really worrying. But what are the plans to protect the lake from losing its value?
Now, we all know that Lake Bosomtwe is one of the 3 biosphere reserves we have in the country. So now the document is, or the plan is that they will be extensively engaging the residents in all the 22 communities, create awareness on the need to protect the lake and how its shrinking will affect the community. Now, they will not only be doing that, but also create alternative livelihood means for the residents so that most of them who are farming along the buffer zones will stop and do other things. Because for now, you go there, they will tell you that their only means of livelihood is either fishing or farming. So before they will be able to stop the farming and even protect the vegetative cover, then an alternative source of livelihood should be provided for them. Sheila Anson is the MAP coordinator in Ghana.
Lake Bosomtwe is one of the few craters in the world. The kind of lake that it is, there are very few of them in the whole world, and this is something that needs to be protected. So UNESCO brought what we call the Sustainable Management of Lake Bosomtwe project, which among other things helped us to bring together stakeholders. That's how come we now have a community management committee. They say when you are sitting by something, you don't appreciate it until you lose it. So the plan has the ultimate aim of helping people to appreciate that it is a national heritage that we need to protect.
Right, Ibrahim Abubakar, thank you so much for your time. Let's all save Lake Bosomtwe. Time for us to head to your election command center.
This is your election command center. Let's begin from the quarters of the NPP because presidential candidates of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, says he will roll out a housing policy when he wins SPA. The housing policy will include the construction of affordable houses in every district across the country. He was addressing the chiefs, clergy, and Muslim clerics at Dobonso in the Setria Front Plains constituency of the Ashanti region.
Accommodation, housing, and some educational degree ever. You see, masons were all, carpenters were all, electricians were all, plumbers were all, even our painters were all, roofers were all. Empty housing, no educational degree ever. A mine, empty ye said a mind to say Singapore near the area iron. Ye the social as well as affordable housing schemes across all the districts. The manifesto Nana Aboso already said no here affordable housing because housing you have professionals are not transfer mahalo umumba na yes ano abdi ejuma baba so shishia mediba your friend buy Ghana first policy. And then a buy a Tony Mabibria, ye cry if amanone. And no Emma Ejuma Ghana. Upa said Udia Ejuma Ghana, just Uye Sadi and Uto Sadi and Ghana. Uber toss uniforms, men cra and free amanone embra. You were tailors or how you were factories or her buy Ghana first. So I am right now maybe Taichi in terms of your policy, no. You said the Echuma Ebeba. Your mom so and then a called digital. Digital additional here and then all digital skills no. But na Robonso, not only America or Canada or UK or Germany, right from here, on computer, that will intimate the same youth, no 1 million at least digital skills. Even we school, school dropouts. You don't need digital skills. That every day was Singapore. Because computers, not dollars, you perceive your digital skills. No, you have 5,000 youth from Setria.
Daniel Opoku is a man with Dr. Bawumia's team. He joins us for more on this. Danny, how differently is this housing policy going to be apart from the ones that we already have in this country?
One of the things critical to the Vice President, the issue about the housing policy, he acknowledged the fact that we have a housing deficit, and consistently every government has been wanting to put together a housing policy. So under his presidency, what he has been saying is that the housing policy is something that he's going to really, really look into it. And most importantly, what is slightly different from what the Vice President is saying is the fact that this housing policy will be done across every district in this country. And that is the most important point that the Vice President is talking about, that the housing policy will be done across every district, where government will put in a lot of investment to be able to set up this particular structure. And not just a housing policy also, when we listen to it, talking about affordable housing, where every Ghanaian can have access to those various houses that we put together. Previously, what we have seen is that the houses are put at a certain particular area where people are not able to access those houses. But under his policy, under his program, it says to be done across every district, to make it available for every Ghanaian to have access to it.
Bawumia mampeni dada mahama. Yes, sir. Yemi na yoko. Na the only say first no NDC omo campaign no omo ba set your front place and no more community swim for no more bakantiro mo say more mini do mahama sentiment mbano enyasa no moka enyasa sana etie so 12 sana na etie 2016 sana na etie 2020 sana na etie na omo dwe say MPP omo so omo isre ninda enyasa but ene Muslim Muslim ni yes. Muslim ni wana mama esi Muslim ni enti Muslim asem na mo betre ya wonton mame. We have say ye ni mo. Ye ba ko be president nyamiadu. But only obituary Omambeni efie 9 pe na oko. And yes, sir, maybe obituary Omambeni efie watchi. Na the idea ba say question ni ho mo efie 9 and I say efie watchi. When you efie watchi no, and e boy efie 9 there, NGBA na wasoreko.
So, Danny, update us if the NPP presidential candidate is done with the Ashanti region. Where else is he expected to be?
Right, so this morning he started with Dobonso in the Afram Plains area. He's now moving to New Edibiasi Asokore to do the next phase of the program. One look at how he has structured the campaign. The first part is to do with the traditional leaders, the Muslim clergy, also the clergy. Exactly what he's going to do as the diaspora security with the traditional leaders, to sell his ideas to them. Then right after that, you will do what you call the Bawumia Connect, where we'll be engaging the base, energizing the base for them to vote for him ahead of the elections. Or coming to December. So just about 20 more days to elections. The Vice President has been very up. He has been very firm on the ground, trying to sell his ideas to every Ghanaian for them to vote for him.
Okay. All right, Danny. Thank you for bringing us the update on Dr. Bawumia's campaign. We'll definitely come back to you when there's more. Daniel Opoku is our man with Dr. Bawumia's team.
Still on campaign tours, we move to the Savannah region on the camp of the NDC. The NDC vice presidential candidate, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, has debunked claims that cancellation of the double-track system will deny most students from gaining access to senior high schools. She was addressing party supporters at Jinabor in a community in the Sola-Tuna Kalba constituency as part of a tour of the Savannah region. Here's a report by my colleague Evelyn Tingma.
From one flag bearer home region to another flag bearer home region, the NDC vice presidential candidate, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, and other members of the party, after their Northeast region campaign tour, are in the Savannah region to canvass for votes as the elections draw closer. The Sola Tuna Kalba constituency was the first port of call. Here, the former national chairman, Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo, thanked the people, chiefs, and opinion leaders for keeping faith with the NDC since 1996. He appealed to them this time around to increase the vote margin for John Mahama and the parliamentary candidate, Andrew Chiwete, for a massive win.
The whole region of John Dramani Mahama, you have no choice than to vote massively for all the 7 parliamentary seats, along with 7 parliamentary seats, and to also vote massively for John Dramani Mahama. I have heard that the MPP candidate here is moving around and say that vote for John Mahama and vote for him. Look, you need the MP to be an NDC MP who can walk to John Mahama's office without any challenge at all to demand and to get what you require from the next NDC government.
Professor Nana Jane says education is a priority of the NDC and urged the people to dispel any misinformation from their opponents.
There are rumors that when the double track system is stopped, cases of school drops out will increase. Let us advise ourselves. He has no solutions to the double track system, hence the allegations.
Yes, on a double track, no solution.
The team also had an engagement with traders and artisans at Biyiri, also in the Sola Tuna Kalba constituency, where they charged the people to continue to vote for the NDC for improved livelihood. Evelyn Tinkma, Sola Tuna Kalba.
The Hygiene Central Member of Parliament, Kennedy Ohene-Agyapong, has urged the electorate to help protect the free senior high school policy by voting for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in the upcoming elections. The legislator made this known at Gomoa Fete as part of his campaign tour in the Gomoa East constituency.
The Hygiene Central Member of Parliament, Kennedy Ohene-Agyapong, urged the constituents to vote massively for Kojo Asamoah to be re-elected as the incumbent NDC MP Desmond Peito has failed to deliver.
Only MP Obetini Abwa Dr. Bawumia ama 3 years so higher possible honorable Asamoah.
The only person who can help Dr. Bawumia achieve his goal of maintaining free SHS is Honorable Asamoah, so I urge you to trust them. The NPP parliamentary candidate Kojo Asamoah criticized the NDC MP for his abysmal performance. If you don't vote for Bawumia, who else will you vote for to support development in your area? Is there any candidate with a strong track record of driving growth and progress?
The chairman of the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, Johnson Esidu Nketia, has directed NDC members of parliament to boycott parliament if the House is recalled. He was addressing campaign rally in Asasatre in the Elembele constituency of the Western region.
Let no NDC MP set foot in parliament. A robust democracy cannot exist without Parliament's active involvement. Ignoring a weakening Parliament would undermine democratic governance, allowing authoritarianism to flourish. We must rally behind Parliament as it embodies the will of the people and ensures power isn't concentrated in one person's hands.
The parliament in democracy anyway. But parliament and democracy and a Juma. Now you call for Yatuaba, we are. Mama kind of one child say, one more energy democracy. Your leaders say all parliament in England. Yatuaba now will Sandra. NDC so Yama MPC go to Ambataho, the ultimate democracy.
The Krowor constituency remains one of the swing constituencies in the Greater Accra region. It has been a notable political battleground in the country's electoral history as both the NPP and the NDC compete fearlessly to win the people's mandate.
The NDC has won 4 out of 7 elections since Ghana returned to constitutional rule in 1992. In the 2020 general elections, Madam Agnes Namomolate of the NDC ousted Madam Afolikwe of the NPP. She remains positive to be retained in the upcoming December 7 general elections. The upcoming December 7 polls promises to be a fascinating showdown in Krowor as the two main contenders have adopted diverse tactics to win the seat. NPP parliamentary candidate Engineer Emmanuel Odailaye is poised to win the seat for the NPP and has adopted a door-to-door campaign to engage the constituents. The civil engineer is said to have spearheaded the construction of some major roads in the constituency to ease the gridlock. He told the news team that nothing can change his victory in the elections.
It will never happen. If that's their dream, then they should forget it. God is going to do it. And it is written already. I don't see myself really in competition. I see myself as the next MP for Nuwa. And that one, nobody can take it out.
The incumbent NDC Member of Parliament, Dr. Agnes Namomolate, on the other hand, has embarked on a community engagement where she accounts for her stewardship to the people. She equally expressed optimism in the people to retain her in the December 7 polls.
I trust God that I'm going to win by His grace overwhelmingly. He always does it exceedingly, abundantly, above and beyond my imagination. And I know He will do it again. I've always had this quote that the latter glory will usually always.
Meanwhile, the constituency lacks proper road network as the Nungwatama Beach Road awarded in 2020 has stalled. The constituents shared with the news team what would inform their decision to vote for a particular party come December 7.
And looking at currently what we are experiencing now is like we are having a deficit in development. I quite remember when Honorable Afoli was around, she started some project. I'm a Zongo boy, so she started a project in Nungwa Zongo. And currently, after she was voted out, we've not had any improvement in that structure that was being put up, the Makaranta, to be precise. And I was thinking probably our current MP could even add 1 bag of cement to, at least do something, but it has stalled.
For Krowor, when you talk of developmental projects, the MC is also doing his best, who is an appointee from the government. So at the end of the day, everybody, all the stakeholders who played part in government are actually putting their hands on deck to bring development and also improve in the lives of the people. So these are some of the things that will actually inform me to actually give my nod to the party.
And it's very important that we let the viewers know that it's 19 days, 11 hours and 34 minutes to the general election, which is happening on December 7th.
Don't forget, we are your election command center. Stay with us. We'll bring you all that you need to know.
We'll be right back.
Dr. Baumia once said in a church,
since 2014 in India, they have a policy to only build concrete roads because it works out much cheaper. So I said, well, let me bring this to my bosses, and we have been discussing this as recently as last week in Parliament. And Bishop Dag, I'll let you into it. Cabinet did decide last week that we should move towards concrete roads as a country.
Where are the concrete roads? It was all lies. You trust this man at your own peril. Vote John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
I'm a Ghanaian, and I love luxury accredited faith, and I love democracy.
December 7th, Ghana is voting.
Only peace. Peace, I give it to you all.
I love Ghana. Peaceful election before, during, and after.
One Ghana. Peace. Peace to everybody.
One Ghana. Ghana.
This message brought to you from the luxury accredited faith. Everybody knows Acrobato. And if you know Acrobato, it means you know M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic is my pillar. Let's hear what others are saying about M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. Who will be careful M-Punch one?
Chesena mi ankasa me period no say problems wom ntina ma wo ho idea ma me papa chesena nya asem ketewa na mkwan point no mo hwe me mogya mu no mo hwe bibia na so mo meduro me fire no ene ma won kra mienu hofro kwa na mkwan mu a eba
head everything yourself
me ma me no adwodwo eda ho a wontumi nante ene ne ko end point o mama nuru a ene ne ho idea watimi asori anante.
That's end point for you. Of Acrobato. Hello. Hey, ohwehwe what che. Okay. A free bra wo di end point what dance. Am me call you no. Me Johnson say my name Koye and person my name nyina and imagine Sabema. Na me be fear for there. The one nyina jaresa. You heard everything. I have secret. M-Punch is my secret. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. I'm free.
A vote for the MPP candidate in this 2024 election is a vote for a third term for Nana Akufo-Addo. Why they are desperate to break the 8 is to do a cover-up of the 8 years of atrocities that they have inflicted on Ghanaians.
Stand this way. Go this way. Come this way.
Vote John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
This is Hot Issues, your passport to the most compelling conversations of our time. We go one-on-one with the movers and shakers, the thought leaders, and the game changers. We ask the questions that matter, and we don't back down.
Tonight on Hot Issues, I sit with the man at the Center of Corruption Investigations.
Join me on Hot Issues here on TV3.
Hot Issues shows Sundays at 2 p.m. on TV3.
TV3, first in news.
Welcome back to the program. I am Godwin Asideba. We focus on health and climate change now. The Ghana's northern region, persistent droughts are putting enormous pressure on farmers, disrupting food production and threatening food security. The changing climate coupled with water scarcity is making agriculture unsustainable for many smallholder farmers, but innovative solutions are emerging to help preserve the strength. My colleague Emmanuel Samani has been looking into the issue.
Recent droughts in Ghana's northern region have severely affected agriculture, impacting thousands of smallholder farmers who depend on seasonal rains to grow their crops. With unpredictable rainfall patterns and rising temperatures, farmers are finding it increasingly difficult to sustain their crops, leaving them vulnerable to food insecurity and financial instability.
It has greatly affected it negatively. You can see how crops have been affected. And those that are
tasseling and during the drought period had been affected badly. Last year, for instance, we had about 150 acres. But we harvested more than 3,000 bags of maize, that's the 50 kgs. And this year we increased it to 350 acres. We have lost a lot.
For those able to irrigate, the costs are high. Petrol-powered pumps, widely used in rural communities, are not only expensive but also harmful to the environment. For a farmer cultivating just 2 or 3 acres, monthly fuel expenses can reach up to $230, eating away at their income whilst polluting the air with carbon emission.
We realized that for an average farmer who has between 2 to 3 acre farm, they spend about $230 a month on solar pumps, that the petrol that they use for their pumps. And for an average farmer, that's expensive.
In response, solar power irrigation has been introduced as a sustainable and cost-effective alternative. Solar pumps use abundant sunlight to lift water for irrigation without ongoing fuel costs, making them an attractive option for regions with consistent sunlight like northern Ghana.
A lot of these issues that are happening are actually climate related, because rainfall patterns are changing, water is getting scarce. Farming is also suffering. So if they can improve on the source of energy, then they can reduce the amount of carbon they are putting into the environment.
Since adopting solar technology, farmers are seeing significant improvements in their productivity and incomes. For the first time, they can grow crops during the dry season, providing a stable source of food and income even when rains are scarce. Solar-powered irrigation is helping stabilize the local food supply and giving farmers a chance to improve their livelihoods without harming the environment.
Renewable energy is safe, clean, and in the long run is very beneficial to humans and to the environment as a whole.
The positive impact of solar irrigation is felt across entire communities. With year-round farming, fewer people feel the need to migrate to southern Ghana for work. Families are staying together, contributing to local economies and enhancing community stability. This technology is more than just a tool for irrigation. It's helping communities thrive.
I'm now able to irrigate my farm faster. Previously, it took me 3 hours, but with the pump, it takes me 30 minutes.
Every year I'm buying a new petrol pump, but in solar, I'm using it throughout several years.
While solar irrigation holds great promise, the initial investment remains a barrier for many. As such, stakeholders such as the International Water Management Institute is actively seeking partnerships with financial institutions to make this technology more accessible. With the support of these partnerships, smallholder farmers can make the switch to sustainable irrigation and secure a more stable future.
Somebody will get his yield all right, and somebody too will not get it. So if the person who gets it is paying it, and the one who is not getting it is not paying it, that will bring the problem.
Solar energy, Ghana's farmers are beginning to overcome the challenges of climate change. IMI's solar-powered irrigation initiative is bridging the gap between sustainability and food security, empowering farmers to cultivate, thrive, and contribute to a greener future for Ghana. Emmanuel Samani, TV3 News.
Let's do other stories now. The leadership of the Coalition of Hygiene Students and the Unposted Hygiene Graduates has expressed their deep frustration with the government's failure to address long-standing grievances regarding the posting of trained hygiene graduates and the non-payment of students' allowances. In a strongly worded release, the coalition called attention to the government's continued neglect of thousands of qualified and licensed graduates from the 2021-2024 cohort who have yet to be posted despite completing their studies. The graduates, who play a crucial role in Ghana's preventive health sector, are unable to contribute to public health and sanitation initiatives due to a delay in their posting. The coalition also highlighted the ongoing issue of non-payment of allowances owed to students from the 3 schools of hygiene, which has accumulated for over 2 years. The group noted that the allowances intended to support students during their studies have not been disbursed, leading to significant financial hardship for many students and contributing to an increasing dropout rate. Awene Fred Atenga is General Secretary of the Association of Unposted Environmental Health Officers and Assistants Association of Ghana. He's joining us for a conversation. Awene, have you been told the reasons behind the prolonged delay in posting the various codes?
Good afternoon, madam, and good afternoon to your service listeners and viewers. Unposted environmental health officers, we are not only unposted environmental health officers, but we are three we have three specialties in the various schools. That's environmental health, occupational therapies, and safety, and then occupational health and safety. So all these three badges have been in the house for the past 4 years to 5 years without being posted. Our students who haven't been given the allowance for the past 2 years, that's 24 months. And this has made us we feel like we have been neglected for a very long time, and that we have sat in the house being jobless, and we have been a burden to our parents for all this while. And this has triggered our motive or our main idea of picketing at the Ministry of Water and Sanitation on 19th coming, that's Tuesday and Wednesday.
So, Awene, what does government tell you when you engage them? Does it look like they have plans of releasing the funds anytime soon?
We have engaged government since 2021, and it has been like next 3 months we'll post you, next 2 months we'll post you, next year, and it has been a normal thing up to date. The last time we engaged them, we were told that our things have been worked out and that it has reached management level to where they will just sign and give us these postings or clearance to start our work or to be posted. We have also engaged them on the students' allowance, and they keep on saying that it will come next month, next 2 months. And so once it has reached management level and it has taken 4 years without us hearing anything, we feel like they are only trying to calm us down, or I don't want to use the word lying to us, but they have been unfair, or they have made their minds to neglect us for no reason.
And you said that you are going to picket at the Health Ministry on the 19th of November. Is that it?
We are going first to the Ministry of Water and Sanitation. That is 19th and 20th of this month. That's coming Tuesday and Wednesday. And we are not leaving there for the past. We are going to leave there or stay there for 2 days. Tuesday and Wednesday. And if government fails to give us our postings and our allowance to all the three denominations, that's the occupational health and safety, occupational therapists, and the environmental health officers, we will continue with the next one in the following week. And that we have written to the Ghana Police Service, we have met with the regional police commander, and we have been giving guidelines as to how to go about it. And so we have prepared everything that is set for coming 19th, that's Tuesday and Wednesday, to ensure that we express our grievances to government for the continuous neglect on us. Meanwhile, we have to play a critical role. Our country is so filthy. People who are suffering from stroke doesn't get occupational therapists to assist them. People who are at work site doesn't even have the protection idea, and that occupational health and safety people are supposed to be there.
All right.
The government is neglecting us for all this work.
We hope that government hears your plea between now and tomorrow so that you don't even go to do the picketing on 19th November. Awene Fred Atenga is General Secretary of the Association of Unposted Environmental Health Officers and Assistants Association of Ghana.
Let's talk more on health. In the wake of the recent outbreak of cholera in some parts of the country, community leaders in Nive, a community in the whole municipality of the Volta region, are expressing concerns over the growing situation of open defecation in the area. Despite the availability of a toilet facility in the community, some youth continue to use inappropriate places anytime they have to attend to nature's call. There's more in this report by my colleague Faisal Abdul-Idrisu. We'll bring you the report in subsequent bulletins, but you're still tuning to Weekend Central here on TV3. My name is Godwin Asidwa. Remember, the bulletin is also live on DSTV, channel 279, streaming on Facebook at TV3 Ghana. We are back after this break. Stay with us.
The MPP, we have arrested the rapid depreciation of the city.
A nose-diving currency.
Why are you running?
Which has rather arrested the person who said he would arrest. He had arrested it.
I understand.
The dollar has rather arrested him. And so we're looking for him. We can't find him. I asked the IGP if he had the key so that we could find where our Vice President was, and he said he doesn't have it.
I understand. I'm still amazed by the stuff that comes out of your mouth.
Vote John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
Oh, Mansa. What is happening? Sit down. Mansa, why is your shop so empty?
You have reminded me of my sorrow. You were with me when I went to the bank for a loan to establish this place. The bank is chasing me for their money now. The interest alone is 40% every year. I can't restock because of the exchange rate. Today the dollar is 15, tomorrow 16, and it's even getting to 17. Why? The price of an item, 1 cedi today, 10 cedis tomorrow. The numerous taxes, high electricity and water bills are killing me. I can't plan. I can't save. I can't even repay my loan. All my capital is gone. Oh! Who will save me out of my misery? It's okay. I'm suffering. Where is help?
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Health and its partners are working to expand access to healthcare services for
having great maternal care to avoid cases of maternal death, and for children under 5 to ensure that the cases of malaria, malnutrition, pneumonia and diarrhea are kept, to also ensure that infant deaths are not recorded. Today, stakeholders have gathered in the Eastern region to review the project and chart a new path.
Estimates from the summit suggest that maybe 50% of the communities in Ghana need Health to Go services and would benefit from them. What we base Health to Go on is now the extension into the communities through community-based agents, what we call our community health workers. And they are really the agents within the community who serve that community. They are available 24/7. If somebody has a concern, they can reach out to the community-based agent who will come 24 hours a day. We've heard from mothers that having this access in the middle of the night, rather than having to worry through the night whether their child needs serious care or not, they can call on the community-based agents at any time. And they've demonstrated both the sense that they can do that and have given us examples of when they have done that, and there has been responsiveness. So it relieves a lot of burden from mothers and community members. It reduces the concerns, it reduces the worries, and it also provides a better sense that you can access care early when conditions have not yet gone beyond the early stages of complication.
First, now Babalia now blepa, so pep kaya baba that's akula no wayalia. 7 periods and we walk by bedroom by now akula no film. Now may I don't have to go by hono. So but I dare san cry no money or do more qua or move free near malaria or move to me shakula man.
And in the wake of the recent outbreak of cholera in some parts of the country, community leaders in Nive, a community in the whole municipality of the Volta region are expressing concerns over the growing situation of open defecation in the area. Despite the availability of a toilet facility in the community, some youth continue to use inappropriate places anytime they have to attend to nature's call. Here is a report by Faisal Abdul Idrisu.
The Volta region is yet to record any case of cholera since the recent outbreak, but stakeholders in the region are on high alert to avert any possible outbreak. But in Nive, a farming community in the whole municipality, open defecation remains a major concern. Open defecation was so rampant here in Nive, leading to several disease outbreaks. This continued until we were able to build a public toilet for the community. But those who smoke weed and cigarettes would not want to use the same toilet as the public, so they find every corner they could to do their own thing. So we have formed a watchdog team together with the unit committee. Once you are caught engaging in open defecation, you'll be brought to my palace and you'll be dealt with.
It's a challenge and a concern, and with the break of cholera around and in a community where there is a stream around it, this makes them more vulnerable to also acquire such condition in the community. And because here is a border town and people travel a lot from some of the districts or regions that have reported cases of cholera, we are also worried.
In a further boost to end the menace and to promote safe hygiene and sanitation, Multisoft Foundation, a non-governmental organization, has commissioned a 4-seater water closet toilet facility for the Nive Health Center.
Without hygienic practices, cholera is a big deal. We understand, I think currently it has been on the news that cholera has surfaced around the Adan area. I'm not very specific, but I think it's in the Adan area. And cholera easily spreads. So our idea basically is to support the SDG goals and also to ensure that our people who are in Nive do not.
To some good and interesting news, accommodation has remained a challenge for some critical non-teaching staff in Prempeh College in Kumasi, but this will come to an end soon as some old students have mobilized funds to address the challenge.
In the spirit of giving back, the 96-year group of Prempeh College handed over a 5-unit 2-bedroom flat to the school. The facilities to cater for the accommodation needs of non-teaching staff.
We decided to build this magnificent structure for our non-teaching staff because we believe they also are an integral part of the community as a school, and they help all together to make sure that learning and other activities within the school setup come to fruition.
Commending the old students, the headmaster, Very Reverend Louis Asari, described the gesture as impressive.
Mostly our attention has been on our students. How do we create conducive learning environment for our students? And if there is an extension, we look at our teachers. The last to come to mind has always been the non-teaching staff. Sometimes we even forget they exist. Without the cooks waking up very early in the morning to make sure breakfast is ready by 7 a.m., the whole system will be distorted.
The group, however, plans to do more to support their alma mater in the coming years.
2016, we did 230 metal beds for the school. That cost us about around 300,000 Ghana cedis. And in the near future, we look forward to setting up a fund for the needy students of the school as well.
The 550,000 Ghana cedis facility is expected to boost the morale of non-teaching staff.
And the retired Supreme Court Judge, Justice William Atiguba, has described the reasoning of the 5 Supreme Court judges in the vacant seat case as purely political. Speaking on key points, the retired justice noted that, but for political considerations, the judges would not have accepted jurisdiction for the case in the first place. On Tuesday, November 12th, the Supreme Court, by a 5-2 majority decision, upheld the suit filed by Alexander Apenyomarking, which argued that Speaker Alban Bagbing misinterpreted Article 97(1) G and H of the 1992 Constitution by declaring 4 seats vacant. In a 109-page ruling, the 5 justices stated that a Member of Parliament, MP, can only be considered to have vacated their seat if they change their political identity and remain in Parliament under the new identity. But the 2 dissenting justices believe the Apex Court did not have jurisdiction over the matter. One of the dissenting justices, Justice Tanko Amadou, noted that the plaintiff, having failed to properly invoke the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court in terms of the relief sought, meant that their action failed at the threshold. Commenting on the Supreme Court's ruling on key points on November 16, Justice Atekuba said that the politicization of the judiciary started some time ago but has now reached its peak.
The heart of all this pretentious discussion going on, there's no true legality involved. It's just politics, that honorable type. All we are doing is the paramountcy of political partisanship. Partisanship. That is what is controlling this country. If that is not addressed, we are just wasting our time. True law no longer will apply, where the basis of anything in this country is political, politically driven. That is the menace. Unless it's arrested, this menace, this vice will continue to fester, and constitutionalism will be subverted, paid lip service to, people suffer. In other words, we are not entitled to benefit from the constitutional order put in place for this country. That is the true situation. That's the true evil to be addressed.
He added that the Apex Court did not have original jurisdiction to hear the matter.
In a situation like this, they don't have original jurisdiction. What they have is a jurisdiction of reference. The subject matter belongs to the High Court. And the same Article 132 makes it clear that in a situation like that, they have only reference jurisdiction. But that issue has been addressed by Article 132. Now, where it arises in a matter belonging to another court, the Supreme Court only comes in when an interpretation or enforcement issue arises and is referred to the Supreme Court. That is the only time they can come in.
Describing the judgment as predictable, Justice Atiguba said it was predictable as the same 5 judges accepted jurisdiction. For private legal practitioner Martin Pebu, the fact that the senior-most justices of the Supreme Court were not empaneled by the Chief Justice to sit on the case of the vacant seat is worrying.
You see why then lawyers have raised arguments that this decision takes us back to the powers of the Chief Justice to empanel. Because doesn't it strike you that the senior-most judges were left out? You see, Mr. Ansari made that argument the last time. Bafu Bwani, who is the most senior, yes, he is left out. Puaman, next, left out. The Chief Justice will sit there and look and see that those who think otherwise, okay, I will not empanel you. And so we'll select, devil selection, select those that will say yes. Yes, that's right. This is an analysis. You look and choose the ones that will go in your line.
Right. Last night was a night of glitz and glamour in Mexico, where Nigeria came tops. I don't know if you've been following Chidima at the Tima story.
Yeah.
At the Sheen, I beg your pardon. She really surprised quite a lot of people after what happened to her in South Africa. Nigerians picked her up. She won Miss Universe, and last night she became the first runner-up. A lot of people were actually rooting for her, but
to win, yes.
It was rather unfortunate.
Her story is one that tells of resilience and determination and the fact that you do not have to give up no matter what happens.
And it
congratulate and celebrate her.
Absolutely. Yeah. And she's the first Nigerian as